So in this video, I'm going to let you guys watch a 5K PIF in which I collected last week, and this was from a follow-up. This was a very unorthodox call. This wasn't my normal script, and so I'm just setting the expectation with you guys in case you guys are questioning what script I'm following, what I'm doing. This was a follow-up from a prospect who I spoke with initially 2 months ago. He was having meta ads problems. His Facebook was hacked, so we spent some time on that, but towards the end of the conversation, I kind of centered it back to the goal in which why we're here. He is a very sophisticated buyer. He was high in awareness. He had urgency now. We nurtured him with our organic content the entire way through, with our long-term nurture series for when we don't close clients. And so I just want to reiterate with you guys, when you watch the sales call, it comes from a follow-up which happened 2 months ago. This was the first follow-up since then. We nurtured him with organic email and SMS, sent him a bunch of organic contents. He by now is in the season for his roofing company. Over the winter when we first spoke, it was kind of slow. There wasn't that much internal pressure or reasons to get going because he wasn't in season. And we spent to be fair, it was a little too much time on talking about why his Facebook was hacked. And the pitch itself, I didn't even run him through my Miro board or none of that. He seems to be ready to buy, and that's exactly why I did it the way I did it. And there was some objection handling, and because he said the Facebook was not congruent or wasn't what he was looking for. And so you'll watch the objection handling there. But I just want to reiterate, this was not a normal sales call. Tons of exceptions, and hope you guys can take something of value and apply it into your calls moving forward. All right, bye.
Awesome. So, Paul, I know that you and I, we briefly spoke yesterday and briefly spoke even close to 2 months ago, and we'll keep it like 20, 30 minutes. We'll keep it nice and casual. And I just kind of want to, reiterate some of the goals that we had in mind, see how we can help, and kind of walk you through potentially the process again, having now served over 40 contractors nationwide, and kind of just get a top line overview of what we have going on, see how we could help, and then I'll break down the program and we can go from there. Cool?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so please remind me again, man, like from a high level overview, how many jobs a month are we doing on average? How big's the crew? What's going on operations wise?
Operation wise, we are targeting a $3.5 million goal for the year. We just finished up doing 2 million last year. I've got one crew in place, a second crew that can expand based on volume. We're trying to get to a target goal of 30 installs a month. Currently doing going into the season, we're doing about 16 to 18 a month currently. So we're looking to expand. So that's what we're doing. Got a decent 5-star review, on Google. So we're clean on that side. New website just rolled out. All of that's going on. Got a media blitz coming in the 1st of April. So we'll be doing video testimonials and all of that kind of stuff to roll out onto the website and throughout the marketing on the Google side. Reason why I've reached out to you again would be I'm looking at hitting this from 3 sides. So I've got a marketing team that does my Google stuff. I've got a woman who's been a part of my process for a while on the Facebook side, but we just got hacked. So Facebook is currently down, and I cannot be without avenues of advertising. So I'm assuming, or I'm hopeful that the way in which you do your stuff is outside of my window, so that no matter what gets thrown at me, I'm not down. So my social side is still moving. We're still marketing and driving things back that other way. I don't know if that's what you do or not. But the reason, so that's the whole spiel.
Got it. So you were recently hacked on the meta side of things, and you can't get your accounts back. How recent?
I mean, it's just slow. I mean, we'll see it. We'll see if I can. They're investigating. So but so far this happened on the 4th, so it's now the 12th. So they said upwards of 2 weeks. Before we'll know. But I'm losing too much time. I cannot lose time. So.
Yeah, losing time is the most important thing, because at the end of the day, like any business, we pay with either one or two things: money or time.
Yeah.
And I see here as well, like, given that we did, speak 2 months ago, and then that you reached back out to us, it does sound like we've lost time here, right? Because initially,
I didn't lose time because I made other decisions that excluded you. But at this reality, you did enough for me to call you back. So I really, because you made that comment yesterday was a little odd. Sometimes the way in which you speak to customers irritates them. So be aware of how you come across. You come across as condescending, and you shouldn't, because that's not how you build a relationship. I am not here to discuss why I made a decision or why I didn't make one. I'm here to see if you're a solution. So you're evaluating me, I'm evaluating you. I really would like to see the solution. And I'm explaining to you where I'm at. But this whole idea that I sat on my ass and I'm an indecision maker isn't really the way to really kind of warm my soul, just so you know.
No, of course, it never meant to come off of.
Well, that's how you come across, just so you're aware. That's how you come across. Yeah.
No, so what I was talking about is, oftentimes we have tons of contractors that typically come back to us months after we initially speak, and when we hop on these follow-up calls, it's important to me to understand, like, the decision-making process. Have we done anything? If not, why? If so, okay, great, what have we done?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, one of the things that I really hate to see is contractors that talk about, like, I'm not saying this is you, but this is generally speaking, so I speak in generals, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, because for example, let me tell you about one of my clients. We had a client who we spoke with 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We only started working over a week ago, and I asked him, how has the 3 months been? And he said, slow, I didn't do anything. And in my mind, I'm like, that's the problem. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just telling you from my experience.
In the reality, my season is early. It came early, probably about 3 weeks before. Usually I start construction right now, March 12th, the last 2 years in a row. This is when I started actually selling or installing. We actually broke early. And we already have our first 100,000 on the books on installed already. And we had momentum. We were moving along. Everything was fine. But I can't stand getting curveballed, and it leaves me open to being too vulnerable on my business. And I'm way in. I've got $600,000 in business loans to drive this business and make it what it needs to be. And I'm going to make those investment dollars do what they need to do. But for as many marketing guys that are out there are great, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of crooks out there.
Sure.
And I had been affected earlier on by them. So, your loathing for, working with roofers is probably as high as my loathing for working with marketers, because it's just, there are so many bad apples, and so you just become more and more guarded as you go. And then on the marketing side, a lot of guys are one-call close guys on $60,000 accounts, which is comical as well. Because you don't buy a vehicle on a one-call close unless you've researched a vehicle, and so that's
and
the industry,
Sure, and hence exactly why, we post organically to kind of build that trust, run paid ads to build that trust.
Right.
And I mean, you kind of painted a really big and important point, which is like a couple bad past experiences can't dictate the future of what we do. It's like having an ex-girlfriend versus finding your wife.
Oh,
Obviously, we've all had ex-girlfriends, like it's not going to stop us.
Right.
But that's where doing your research actually comes into play. And
Right.
in this case, for you, taking some time to think about the decision, right? So that's exactly like coming full circle to what we were talking about, and maybe how I came off was like contractors sometimes let that kind of dictate their life, and that's what I hate to see.
Right.
Because
and that's not what I'm doing. So
No,
big
exactly.
picture, what we're looking at, I'm going to spend about $22,000 a month overall in my marketing, but I don't trust anyone with it all, because one speed bump, you're fucked. Okay. So because of that, I'm looking to work around and figure out the best way to weatherproof my business while growing my business with inside my budget. And we all got one. We all got a budget. And then I want to evaluate how the performance of the accounts justify the investment. And I mean, that's all there is to it. It's data driven, from start to finish. But that's what I'm looking for, and so do you have a way to work around? You do a lot with the Facebook side, or am I forced to make, because they're telling me not to make another page, or telling me not to do anything because it'll be viewed as fraudulent as well until they finish their investigation. So how do I get anywhere on my end, utilizing your services, or is there still a Facebook speed bump here?
Yeah, so kind of reiterating what I said yesterday, which is we obviously plan for worst case scenarios like this, because Meta unfortunately can just wake up and ban accounts randomly at will.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had this multiple times with several different clients. So we know what you're going through, which is accounts disabled, ad accounts disabled, Facebook is banned, and on hand, we have accounts ready to go for situations like this. So in this specific case for you, it would essentially just be your company rebranded with an account ready to go. We would pretty much just like implement your testimonials, your photos, build it up to be legit. Now, the build-up period will delay launch slightly, only by a couple days, because we're going to have to rebrand everything to you. But to answer your question, yes, we know what we're doing. We've done this for multiple clients, because that's the unfortunate truth about Meta, unfortunately.
So the next question would be, is then if you're doing all of that, now that means that the Facebook account is now hijacked by you as well, so that, God forbid, I wanted to do something in the future that did not include you. You now own that page, and so I'm back to being hijacked again. Is that fair?
So the account itself we're going to strictly use it just for running Meta ads. But I mean, in your specific case, just to be clear, this is the roofing account, the main accounts that they took down.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could simply have someone else create it, and then they just give you the login details. But for our partnership specifically, it would be, yes, under essentially our control, but that's not to stop you from creating a separate one with, one of your employees, details, them just giving you the username and password. So yeah, I mean, the solution is quite straightforward. I don't want you like overthinking it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not overthinking it. I'm just being legitimate. I mean, at the end of the day, ownership of my business is imperative. But in this case, the owner, myself, I am literally screwed out of my own access to my own company format, and it doesn't seem to be a solution.
Yeah, and Meta support is extremely slow, and it's frustrating dealing with them. We've dealt with them for a long time as well. So
but having my employee having access to my information, or having that be, it's no different. The company needs to have control of its assets, and if that's the situation, what I'm looking for would be something that was more direct lead generated, outside in, funneled in, so that now I've got a meta thing that once that happens, it's good. I'm not looking for like an Angie's kind of solution, but in essence, that's the big picture of how I'm looking at a third player. A third player would be something on the outside that generates their own stuff and then funnels it back through based on what I'm looking for. But
so I mean, what we're looking for essentially is just qualified appointments, qualified leads.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And do you mind reiterating then, like, the two fronts that we have going on right now? So the Google aspect, and then you said another lady. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Facebook campaign that I've used. Well, a Facebook woman who's been a part of my program for the last 3 years. So she's fine, but she's down and out right now because we have lack of access. So, but I'm looking at that third leg would be something from the outside that does its own lead generation and whatnot. In essence, we're paying for appointments and whatnot. But it's not necessarily tied to any of my assets. So. And there are numerous companies that do this. It's just that I didn't know if yours does that as well. But it seems like you're still going to generate ads and generation, all of that through Meta, which is really the same problem I'm already having. I'm trying to go, outside the box, not just double down.
Well, this specific situation, I mean, like, it's also just as simple as potentially even someone in your family just creating an additional account for the Facebook page, and then us running meta ads on that Facebook page that I created. As long as it's not tied to you specifically, then it's fine. Like, you would just simply have to change a couple of the small details, like the personal domain, the personal phone number, whatever it might be. That's the fix here. But the solution to what we've done for now over 40 contract years is just essentially bringing them qualified, exclusive appointments. Mm-hmm. And like, it does sound like what the issue is that we're dealing with here is we just need to get another Facebook account up and running ASAP. Like we can do that for you, or you could just have someone in your family create an account, and then we'll do the onboarding call and get access to that account, and it's still your complete control over it.
Right.
So I mean, like, there's a couple ways of thinking about that, but I kind of hope it puts into perspective. Like, it's not necessarily the same issue. Like, it's like, we can help you get up and running, get you qualified appointments by first thing next week, and then in the meantime, we can help you, give you access to full control over a Facebook account and set that up for you as well. So that's that. Mm-hmm. Do you understand though? Like, I mean, it could just be as simple as having, I don't know if you're married or, your wife or your kids or whoever, just create an account and then just them giving you the information, as opposed to an employee, because it's still you. You're still going to control it.
I mean, the reality of it though is all of the, all of the phone call, all of the two-part verification, all of that, that's now going to be accessed through their contact information. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. It's not, as a business owner, you just don't, hey, I need to log in. Give me the code. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. I should, it should be tied to who I am. But
so then, so I would just then, because I mean, I would just then create another business email domain and potentially another phone number, or just hounds Meta and just wait for a response. Have they responded to you since it occurred on the 4th?
We've had communication, but I've been basically doing their messenger response every other day, just to prod it along. But I mean, I'm at the mercy of them in the process. But that's the issue now. So let's
So would you
assume that
be
the issue.
open?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say then. So would you then be open to the idea of us rebranding an account for you, and then once your issue is completely fixed, we'll switch onto your accounts where you'll have like complete full autonomy over everything, because that's pretty much like the most direct path and simple path I can see here. I mean, which solves the bigger problem of we just need more qualified appointments to get us to that revenue goal.
Right.
I mean, that's what we're most.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the logistics side of this is just a speed bump. But at the end of the day, we're looking at goals. You know, so assuming that we can solve that problem, what are the refresh me on
Sure.
the other side.
So the bottom line is this: 45 guaranteed qualified appointments over the course of 90 days, and we've now done this with over 40 contractors nationwide, and there's two factors to the company. The first is to put you guys in front of as many homeowners as possible, and the second is to make your life as stress-free and easy as possible. And so it's a complete done-for-you system. We also book the appointments onto your calendar so that your sales reps or whoever runs the estimates just sees them on the calendar, shows up, and obviously we can't close the job, but for you, but hopefully you guys, close one out of every 2 or 3 qualified appointments. So it's as simple as that. And some of our clients call the leads themselves. Some of them, we call the appointments for them. It's a US-based human concierge team who calls within the first, 60 seconds to 5 minutes in case you guys can't, which is, speed to lead is really important as well. But the overall guarantee is 45 guaranteed appointments over the course of 90 days, completely done for you meta system. And that's like a high level overview. I mean, I have the whole pitch deck, and I can run you through all these different testimonials and whatnot, but I'm sure you've seen pretty much everything at this point.
And then your month, I would assume this is 3 months worth of work. What is is it a 3-month fee again, or is it a monthly fee? What is it?
Sure. So the investment aspect is $5K for 90 days plus $75 a day in ad spends at bare minimum. Some clients with us spend $200 with us. Some spend $300 with us. It really just depends on your goals and what you want to achieve. But to reiterate, it's $5K for 90 days, and then $75 a day in ad spends, which is how we generate the leads off of Meta. As simple as that.
So roughly 4,000 a month. First 3 months.
Correct. I mean, out of the $22,000 or whatever the budget was, you said, I mean, it's less than a third itself. So,
yeah, I mean, 5,000 divided by 3 months is 1,666 a month, and then ad spend at 75 a day minimum is 2,250. There's your 4,000. Okay. And then the biggest issue is figuring out what I want to do with Meta.
well, I mean, doesn't it sound like we already have a solution? It seems pretty. I mean, again, like we've done this now for multiple clients because that's just how Meta is. We just rebrand it to us because we have accounts ready to go, and then once we fix the solution, which hopefully is within a week or two, then we'll just transfer everything over As simple as that. And the data transfers over, all the KPIs, all the everything we do for you. It's that simple. Yeah, I don't want you overthinking it or anything like that.
Well, sorry, I'm an overthinker.
It's okay.
You know,
But going back to the point that we first started on, it's important to make decisions, quickly, then think about it for a while, right? I mean, that's kind of what we were just discussing earlier on.
yeah. Well, it's not about. It's not. I mean, what I'm looking for was a solution that. The solution I'm looking for isn't being offered.
Which is
just a turn and go pay for lead application. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something outside of Facebook, outside of Google. So direct lead generation is what I'm looking for. Outside of my ecosystem is what I'm looking for, so that I have now 3 different avenues to generate, so that one doesn't. So if one is down, I still have 2 other sources flowing. So,
and are you saying that the Meta 45 appointments in the 90 days directly onto your calendar isn't outside of the other 2?
No, it is not. It's because it's still directly affected by solving the meta solution. So, if what I'm looking for is someone outside of that ecosystem that's generating on their own for my company is what I'm looking for. So I don't care what platform you use, but it's outside of the ecosystem, so that whether you're doing your own Google stuff or your own Meta stuff, whatever you're doing, I don't care. But how you funnel those leads back to me is what I do care about.
So us,
but it's
creating an entirely separate account, and we have accounts that, again, we have accounts on standby ready to use. That is essentially out of your own Meta problem. We're funneling the appointments back onto your calendar. So isn't it separate then?
I don't know. Is it? I don't fail to see. I fail to see that it is. But
it is. But the thing that is concerning in this case for you is that it's not under your control. But again, it's just a Facebook page that we can transfer to you eventually.
Yeah, I mean the reality is that being that it isn't in my control doesn't necessarily affect me, because eventually I'll get my other page back.
Great, yeah.
Eventually I'll get my other page back, and I'll still have control of my original page, and life goes on while having a secondary page that does the same damn thing. And whether I use you or not in the future, technically speaking, I'm not really affected by that. Now, are you doing this payment just all through you, or am I still doing a Meta payment for the ad spend and all of that? How's that work?
Yeah, so Meta is a daily thing. It's not going to bill you all at once. So given that we do have a separate account for you, we would just simply put the card on file and use it for ad spends. As simple as that. We have clients doing that every single client does that. So
yeah,
it's a daily thing.
Because it's a separate account, I like anything else. I mean, I'm just watching where dollars are going, but you're going to have an ad spend account tied to this outside Meta source or solution that then allows me to, we do your 5K for the 90 days, and then whether the ad spend $75 a day or $100 a day, whatever the hell it was that we choose, you'll build that through your account.
Correct. To the card on file. Correct. Yeah. It's as simple as that. That's what all of our clients do. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? I get that. I get that we're overanalyzing everything here, but to
I'm
me,
not doing anything. I'm just furthermore, whether it bothers you or not is irrelevant to me. uh, um, it's simply what I'm trying to do. All right, and so we do our first 90 days. Then what happens? Then we just re-up for the next 90. That's how this plays.
so most of our clients extend into 6-month programs, or you can go month to month. We give our option to the client itself. So whether it's you just want to renew for another 90, you want to renew for an extended period of time, but we get everyone in on the 90-day program.
Right.
And then we have options from there as the time gets closer.
Then talk about the options because going forward, because I want to know those two. What are the options after 90 days?
Sure. So it's either month to month, or it's another 3-month program, or it's a 6-month program. I mean, it's as simple as that. 2K for month to month, 5K for 3 months, and then 9K for the 6-month program.
And then ad spend.
Yep, ad spend. But by that time, we've scaled. Hopefully, have scaled your ad spends, and obviously making you guys a ton of money. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line here. Because that's what we do with a lot of our clients. A lot of our clients come in spending 75, 100, and then we end up spending a couple hundred after 2-3 months. I mean, that's the goal. We want to grow with you.
Yeah, because again, at the end of the day, we're trying to get to roughly 85 to 100 appointments a month. 45 over 3 days is 15. That's obviously not even close to overall goals. On that regard.
And that's and if I may, I mean, that's to set the expectation. Now, one of the reasons why our clients are really happy with us is because we always overpromise, underpromise and overdeliver, right? Like the 15 is just to set the expectation. On average, 15 to 22 a month, depending on ad spends. But that's to set the expectation.
Okay. All right. So then, predictably speaking, if we modify the ad spend accordingly, we should get better results.
As long as we're profitable on the front end, then we scale. No question about it. Yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. All right. And then what about availability? I mean, is there an easy way to get a hold of you? Because there doesn't seem to be initially. Is it just through your website and then you play that game, or is there an in-house number?
No, you can reach me out at email or text, whatever works. It's Marco at Awakening Growth, and then there's you have the number that we've been texting you on.
Actually, I don't know that I do. What's the text number? So I have it. Well, we're going to proceed. And you'll do your own Facebook thing and whatnot on our side. We'll do all that other stuff to get it going. You'll manage all of that, and then I'll be up and running hopefully sooner than later, right?
Great. So let's get rolling with the next steps. It sounds like
good.
Great. Let's do it. So first, what's going to happen is we're going to take care of payment. The second is we're going to schedule the onboarding call. Third, I'm going to send you a bunch of material. I'm going to send you the contract. I'm going to send you the Google Drive where we can start to put the material into place. Now, when it comes to the relationship as well, we're going to have all of our client communication on Slack. Some clients prefer email. Some clients prefer Slack. You have access to our entire team in Slack, which is what we always prefer because we have, a media buyer, VA, we have tech people. So any questions you're going to be asked,
I've used it
immediately in case I'm not around, in case someone falls or whatever.
Right.
So a bunch of things moving forward that are really important, and we're going to show you the progression of success in our program. Okay, we're going to show you the pathway. We're going to give you the exact steps. So let's do it. So I'm going to pull up the payments info right now.